now through August. Visit saltdogs.com for updates on everything you need to know about weekly promotions, giveaways, and special events. That's where you'll find the latest updates to make sure you catch all the excitement and never miss a homestand you want to attend. Haymarket Park is your ticket to fun all summer long. Visit saltdogs.com to get your tickets and unleash the fun.
Advanced Medical Imaging is the largest radiology group in Nebraska, located in Lincoln at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. At Advanced Medical Imaging, they utilize state-of-the-art technology and blend it together with their compassionate, skilled team to guide you through every step. Whether it's an MRI, CT scan, or X-ray, their precise diagnostics help your doctor deliver the best care plan for you. Choose clarity and comfort in your life by choosing Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard and online at amimaging.com.
Mike, the insurance company wants us to replace the roof.
Wait, what? I thought everything was fine.
Yeah, it says right here our roof is too old and they won't be able to cover us anymore.
I guess it is 15 years old. Hi, I'm Austin with Roofing Service Company. We help homeowners with their roofing and siding projects. Financing options are available, and we can get you under a new roof no time at all. If this sounds like you, visit roofingservicecompany.com. That is roofingservicecompany.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Empower a child today with the TeamMates mentoring program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the TeamMates mentoring program today.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Coming at you live from the 93.7 The Ticket studio. From the heart of Lincoln, America. Expanding awareness about the TeamMates program and the ever-growing need for mentors. This is TeamMates Timeout with TeamMates CEO Des Moines Adams and Marketing and Communications Manager Ashton Otter.
Well, happy Tuesday, everyone. You're live with TeamMates Timeout with DeMo and Ash. We are back. We had a little week break, had some state baseball here in Nebraska, but as we get ready to close the month of May, we wanted to take a pause and recognize mental health awareness, which has been something that a lot of people have focused on during the month of May. As a reminder, TeamMates Mentoring, we are a strengths-based organization. We train our mentors to focus on the strengths of a student. And for those of you that are familiar with Gallup, strengths is what leads to hope, engagement, and well-being. And we all understand that well-being is what leads to one's well-doing. And so to help us to just dive into this state of mental health, especially in our young people, we got a special guest. I know this guy, but I want to make sure that I set him up for success. He's the Senior Vice President of Strategic Initiatives and Capacity for the Thurgood Marshall College Fund. He received his master's and PhD from the University of Nebraska-Lincoln in counseling psychology with focused efforts and experience in students' mental, social, and emotional health. And prior to his current role, he served as the director of community partnerships and strategic initiatives for the UNL Office of the Chancellor, where he was instrumental in building bridges between the university and the broader community and spearheaded initiatives that enhanced community efforts, fostered institutional collaborations, and expanded opportunities for student success. Man, you taking me back to grad school using all these big words. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Dr. Lawrence Chatters as our special guest.
Hey, thank you so much for that intro, DeMo. And just have to acknowledge, thank you, Ashton, as well. I'm just happy to be here. And anytime I get the opportunity to share the airwaves with great people who are doing great work, I listen to you all show, and I know that you have some great guests on here. So I'm just happy to be in great company, and especially on the tail end of Mental Health Awareness Month, something that has a significant meaning to me. It's something I've committed my entire career to, supporting young people in their mental health and people across, the spectrum of age when it comes to, counseling psychology. And so this is just a great opportunity for me. So thank you for the opportunity to be here today.
Absolutely.
So, Lawrence, before we dive right in, I want to know, how did you and DeMo's paths cross?
Fortunately, I didn't cross his path on an opposite team when he was playing for the Huskers, because one thing I do remember is he had the strongman trophy in your house, right? You were like the lifter of the year, right?
Yep.
So I was always happy to be on his right side. I'll just put it that way. But we were actually in the counseling psychology program together back in the early 2000s. And I can just remember both of us looking at each other like, honestly, we were some of the only men in that program, and we were definitely the only two Black men in that program. So we were looking at each other like, are we going to make it? And so, but anyways, DeMo, he stopped at the master's level, right?
Yeah.
And so I continued on to get my PhD, but that's where we really crossed paths, is where, we were in school, and we were neighbors for a little while as well, which was really awesome. And he's just always been a person who I really looked up to. And when he ended up in this role, I just knew for sure that they found the right person for this opportunity, because he can just hype anybody up and is a very inspirational person. He's a great family man. A man of faith. And so, I just felt like, man, this is a great opportunity for TeamMates. And that's really how I got to know him, was just, always finding ourselves in spaces where good things were happening and good things like service and everything else was going on. We'd always see each other and cross paths that way.
I love it. DeMo, how about that?
Hey, I appreciate it, because if you were to ask me, I would say, because Chatters got DJ skills. He was an entrepreneur getting his master's. He had the coolest, I don't know what you call it, bar, DJing. I mean, that's when people were dancing.
Yes.
I mean, like, Ashton, did you know that people used to dance back in the day?
Yes.
Like you wouldn't just go to the bar and just stand and just like do this and look at people. I mean, people dance. Do you remember that, Chatters?
Bro, there were nobody had their phone out. Like we were using T9 word text back then. For y'all younger people out there, you actually used to have to know the number that was associated with the letter if you were going to text somebody. So people just weren't on that. There were no phones out. People didn't even have phones. If maybe you pull out a little digital camera here and there, but people were dancing. I was just talking to my wife about this the other day, and I was talking to my oldest daughter about it. I said, people used to leave the club just sweating.
Yes.
Just like, it was like a pressure cooker in there. It was hot. It was hot.
Well, I'm going to switch gears from your clubbing days.
Okay. All right.
Tell us more about your current role for the Thurgood Marshall College Fund.
So the Thurgood Marshall College Fund, by the way, the namesake, Thurgood Marshall, of course, first African-American Supreme Court justice. He would have argued the Brown versus the Board of Education case back in the 60s. Just a little history lesson there. But the namesake of our organization, basically our organization provides funding for any student across the country to attend historically Black college or university, historically Black community college, or predominantly Black institutions. And those organizations, they all benefit from the fundraising that Thurgood Marshall College Fund does. And so in my role, basically, I was brought in to provide leadership and support in the capacity building area, where we're helping our institutions across the country basically figure out how they're going to navigate some of these significant challenges that are facing all universities and colleges right now, which are decreasing enrollment, challenges with funding from a federal level. So I was actually brought in to create some programming and help utilize funds that we received from a very large grant to provide those funds to those institutions to help them build capacity. So that was kind of, and we talk about strengths, right? And the strength-based approach. So my top strengths are input, strategic, achiever, communication, and futuristic.
Wow.
Right? So, when it comes to my strengths, I am exactly where I need to be because I'm futuristically thinking about what things look like for our universities and helping support them. I'm an achiever, so I'm going to get out there and get it done, right? When it comes to the strategic part of things, that's always been a way that I've thought of, how do I work? The communication piece, we have to talk about what's happening and be able to communicate our vision. And then finally, the input piece, which is a very unique one to have as your top strength. I just love a lot of information. So we have over 300,000 students that we serve and over 55 institutions. So knowing about those institutions, learning about them, and helping them grow, that's like the input part of it.
So we share two, strategic and futuristic.
Okay.
You share one, achiever.
Achiever.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That's
What's
awesome.
interesting to me is your top 5. If I'm not mistaken, you have your top 5 fall in each one of the domains.
Yes.
Yeah, and mine all fall in one domain. So I'm always fascinated by people who have one in at least each one.
She is all executing. I
am.
mean, she is just like, get her done.
Right.
Get her done.
That's awesome.
So Chatters, you've gotten a lot done. And, since mentoring is what we do.
Yes.
How did mentorship influence and shape you as a kid to become the person you are today?
As I look back on my life, I have a lot of fond memories, and some of the fondest memories I have are when a person who I looked up to helped me see something in myself that I couldn't see and led me to something that was really positive that I just never thought that I was capable of doing. And when I think back on the great mentors that I've had over the course of my life, one of them that I'll talk about today is Dr. Michael Scheel. And, of course, he was the chair of our psychology department here, the counseling psychology department. And, he was just one of the coolest things that happened to me was having him not only as a faculty, like my main person on my dissertation committee, but he was just a mentor for me. Like he would give me, essentially the easy buttons in certain things in my life that I was struggling through. And he gave me a lot of grace as I did all the things that you mentioned, like DJing all throughout my graduate program, owning bars, like all this super weird stuff that PhD students never do, traveling, like all, he was always there for me. And he helped me see the vision of what I could do if I was able to finish my PhD. And so he helped will me toward that. Another mentor I had is Dr. Jamie Williams, and he played football here back in the 80s, but he took me under his wing in the athletic department and showed me what athletic administration was all about. And when I wanted to give up on my PhD, he said, no, you need to get this thing done. He has a PhD. And so he was like, you need to get this thing done. And he really kept me from giving up on myself in that program. And so as I look back over the course of my life, like there's been these ups and downs, and the ups have always been with the support of other people. And those supportive people have been the mentors in my life.
And so is it fair to say that, life is kind of like a journey, it's a marathon, and the ups was a result from those positive role models in your life?
Absolutely. And when I was down, they were also there. They were also the people who said, you know what, it's all right. Like we all fail, we all struggle, we all have our challenges, but they were there to lift you up. Like it's always nice when you're on your back to look up and see somebody there and realize that they've got their hand out. Right. And it's like, hey, I'm going to help you up. Right. And so those mentors, it's just great to have somebody that's in your corner, somebody that, can think and see things that you can't think and see. And then they demonstrate those things to you and say, hey, this is what you need to do. Right.
Yeah.
That's mentorship. Right.
Yeah. And, that's what we do with Teammates Mentoring. When we train volunteers to become mentors, we train them to first be a good listener.
Yes.
And to meet students where they're at. Our mentors are not trained to bring in this curriculum or this agenda. It's really about caring about our young people. And, since we're talking psychology here, when think of that Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Absolutely.
The only way a student can reach their self achievement / accomplishment /
Actualization, yes.
is those basic needs need to be met.
Yes.
They need to feel like they belong.
Absolutely.
Self-esteem, love, caring, all of those things. And so we always like to say students don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
That's so important.
Chowders, I'm assuming you still use your counseling psychology degree today. Maybe not like you're sitting and like having a one-on-one, but what is the mental state of our youth today versus back in the day?
So, what's changed really, to be honest with you, is it's people's perspective of mental health. And honestly, the other thing that's changed significantly is young people's exposure to essentially anxiety provoking issues, challenges, opening themselves up to things like social media, where there's a much bigger audience of people who are scrutinizing them. I would just say that the level of angst across the board is higher at this point in time. There's just so many things that are going on in the world that now make their way into our perspectives, right? So if you think about it, when you wake up in the morning, you might reach over and grab your phone like most people do. You look at your phone, you probably have like 5 or 6 notifications. You find out that, Russia's bombing Ukraine, right? Or something. And you're like, wow, that's terrible, right? I mean, 10, 15 years ago, you wouldn't even know that, right? You would not know that. And our young people are being impacted by things like that too. Or you pick up your phone and you see that wonderful picture that you posted and somebody's just put some ridiculous comment underneath it like, oh, you're a terrible person, right? So I want you to just think about how much information 10 years ago our brains were having to really decipher, go through, file on a daily basis. That amount of information has like quadrupled at this point, right? And so there's a lot of negative stuff that's happening there. There's a lot of things that are very scary that I don't necessarily have the chance to talk to my daughters about all the things that they consume because I don't know all the things that they're consuming, right? It used to be that you watch certain channels, you don't watch other channels, right? So now there's just a lot more access. And so what that's done is it's increased the incidences of anxiety. It's increased the incidences of depression. 1 in 5 young people is struggling with a mental health issue right now, right? So there's just a lot of challenges that are out there right now. And I definitely say that, since COVID happened, I think COVID provided everybody with the opportunity to dabble a little bit in what it feels like to have a mental health challenge. Because I think after we all sat in the house and didn't have the opportunity to interact with people and things became more, isolationist, when we were in that situation, people just started to feel that pull of, gosh, I need something else. And it's not this, right? And so I think our young people are also experiencing some of those things. They're experiencing things that we never even knew about, like isolation on social media, right? Just think about that. Like you could be by yourself, but if you're on social media, but no one's following you, you might also feel like no one likes you, right? So you might have access to someone who's bullying you, who's living over in China right now, right?
Yeah.
Like we didn't have access to that. We just had the kid down the street, right? And we might be able to tell their parents, like, who do you tell if somebody's bullying you in China, right? So there's all these different things that are happening. And I think that unfortunately, we haven't quite caught up yet in the industry. So we're still trying to catch up. The jury's still out on how bad or good this stuff is. And I think we're trying to figure those things out right now. So, but what I can tell you is that you're definitely seeing an increase in mental health challenges with our young people who are in adolescence. And that's why in this moment, having a grown up or someone who understands these challenges, sitting down with our youth on a weekly basis, if they can do that, that's why that's so important in this moment.
In your own words, what is mental health? For if you had to explain it to somebody who just doesn't really know what that entails anymore.
Oh man, that's a great question. What is mental health? So first of all, when we're talking about health, we're talking about a baseline, right? So I would say it is the extent to which a person's mental abilities are positive, clear, and reasonable. And I really just came up with that off the top of my head, but
sounded like a textbook definition to me.
So, but what I would say about those things when it comes to positivity, like, we have to understand that there's certain amounts of things that if you think positive, you're going to think more positive. Like I'm a big positive psychology person. If you were to ask me my specific approach to counseling, it's very humanistic, very, Rogerian in that approach. I do believe that, positivity is a powerful force, but so is negativity, right? And so it is the extent to which, we can continue to control those thoughts and manage those things. And sometimes those things get out of hand. You get something going in the wrong direction as far as like how you feel. To be honest, what's terrible about social media and some of the algorithms that are baked into our platforms is that it feeds on that, right? So it sees that you're looking at negative stuff. You're like looking at things that make you feel bad. It's just going to keep feeding you that. And then every now and then there'll be an advertisement in there, right? Because it wants you to buy something, right? But that's what we're dealing with right now. So it's just the person's ability to like maintain that level of stability in their mentality of how they're progressing, because we are progressive beings. We're supposed to want to survive and thrive and everything else. But, with those mental health challenges, sometimes you need more clarity there. You need someone to sit down and point out some things to you that you're struggling with. You need somebody to just every now and then tell you, you know what, that's okay that you feel that way, right? Validation.
So you kind of just led into my next question, which was how can mentorship support the mental health in our youth today?
First of all, it's great to have somebody to bounce ideas off of and talk to. I think for anybody, right? And this is I'm really speaking globally to everybody out there right now. So to have a mentor for a young person is important, but also to have somebody who provides some really non-judgmental interaction with you on a weekly basis is important for us as adults too, right?
Yeah.
And that's why we have friendships and everything. But what's important about mentorship is that, and again, one of the key components of mentorship is listen, don't lecture, right?
Ooh.
That's one of the key components of mentorship, right? So some people, they want to be mentors, but in our community, we call them old heads. They just want to sit down and tell you everything that they know and that you should be doing and shouldn't be doing. Like, that's not mentorship, right?
Say that.
Listen more than you lecture, right? So you need somebody that's just going to sit there and really listen to you. And I think for our young people, because sometimes they really get caught up on social media and they're not doing as much interacting and talking with individuals, right? Like, it'll be crazy. Like I'll pop into my daughter's room sometime and she's actually playing a game and she's on the phone with a friend, but they're not even on the phone. They're like just playing the game, but they're on the phone, right? Our young people need some people to talk to and listen to them and hear what they're saying and demonstrate to them their value of being listened to, right? Because they may not necessarily get that at home. Because sometimes you don't go home and you don't talk to your parents like we always want you to. Parents, kids, your parents want you to come home and just tell them everything that happened during the day, give them the play-by-play. So that listen, don't lecture, and a part of it is really important. Having a person who cares, who demonstrates respect to that young person by showing up, being accountable, right? Imagine how amazing it is to have someone show up every week to talk to you. Like, that's a level of accountability that a lot of people may not have in their life. They may not have that accountability with their parents even, because they might have some challenges there and everything else. But to demonstrate the value of that relationship by showing up and listening on a consistent basis, demonstrating care for them, showing them positivity. These are all these cornerstones of mentorship. So those are all the pieces that help with the mental health, right? It gives you someone to talk to. It gives you an outlet. It gives you a space where you're heard, where you're seen, where you're respected. All those things are incredibly important. So that's how mentorship helps with mental health.
Listen, don't lecture. DeMo, when you heard that, what?
Well, there are people that maybe they think mentoring is about lecturing. It's about fixing kids. It's about, I'm going to come in and I'm going to help this at-risk student to come, to become a promising student. Our mission is to inspire students to reach their full potential through mentoring. But to reach their full potential, it starts by meeting them and their potential where they're at. So to listen, to be there, to care for them. I can't help but to think that listening is hard for a lot of people. Is that fair to say? Like, is listening a skill that maybe teammates mentoring could maybe learn? Like, we're asking mentors, hey, we just need for you to listen. But what I'm hearing is maybe it's a skill. So tell us more about listening. Like, why is it hard for people to listen?
It's hard because I think we all want to add value. And I think that a lot of people believe that adding value is fixing problems, right? It's fixing problems. And so when I hear you say something and I want to just jump in and like, oh, well, that's okay. You know, this is going to be, you know, you just want to, most of the time we just want to make somebody feel better. Right. But honestly, like as a person who's in a mental health field, you don't always jump in and you don't always have something to say. You just listen and you allow a person to really describe their thinking and describe why they're thinking what they're thinking to you, right? So you don't get to that point if you just always interject. And I think that for our young people to be listened to and heard and seen, right, as we talked about, it's just important, first of all, to have an older person who is, again, non-judgmental in the space that can hear what you have to say and really just listen to you, right? Like if you just sit down and talk to somebody, I mean, seriously, like if you have animals, right? I have a dog. I'm sure you have a dog still. No? Yes?
2 cats.
Okay. This is a bit of a tragedy because you used to have 2 dogs.
Yes, I did.
Yes.
So my dogs' names were Granddaddy and Scrappy.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Yep.
They were big dogs.
Boxer mixed with Pit.
Oh.
That was Granddaddy, and Pit, Scrappy.
Yeah. And now he has 2 cats, folks. So, but anyways, I'm sure cats listen too. But the point is that animals listen to us, right? Like they sit down and they not only listen to us because, you know, they can't say anything back, but they feel our emotions when we're there and they comfort us, right? And so I think that's another component of listening is that sometimes you don't even get to that deeper emotion if you don't let a person speak themselves into it, right?
Yeah.
And so I just think listening is a great skill. And I think that in mentorship, to be a good listener adds to that, you know. And again, I know some people just feel uncomfortable with the silence and they don't want to just sit there with their mentee like nothing's going on, right? But honestly, I think sometimes these young people just need someone to listen to them.
The people that's watching, that are listening, I hope you're listening to what the doc is saying. Where our young people are at today, what they need is adults to listen to them. You know, we have a waiting list, Doc, of at least 500 students right here in Lincoln, 500 students in Omaha metro area, across all 6 states, over 1,000 students. They want a mentor. They want someone to listen. Wow. But we don't have enough volunteers that are going to teammates.org and just going through the process, which includes training. We train them on how to be developmental, how to be a good listener.
Yes.
What would you say to that? Over 1,000 students want someone in their life to listen, but we don't have enough volunteers that are stepping up to listen.
Well, what's amazing about mentorship, and I found this because I have a number of mentees in my life, is that you always really walk away feeling better than you came into that situation. And that's what I want people to understand is that this is a pretty immediate way of lifting your own spirits by just being there for someone else. And I think people don't understand that. Yes, it's a time commitment. Yes, it is a level of accountability that is high, but you always walk away from these situations feeling better than you came into them. And that's how I always feel with service. And so I encourage people, challenge yourself this next year, and you're going to be amazed to see how it actually helps your mental health to have someone else on the other side where you're actually stepping into a space and providing that support through mentorship. It always makes you feel better. Like I look forward to speaking to my mentees. I just had a mentee reach out to me last night. He said, "Hey, Dr. Chatters, you know, this is a young man from Omaha who came down here to school this last year as a freshman. He said, I'm back in Omaha, you know, just wanted to see if we could get together." And that just made my day. I was like, absolutely, let's get together, right? Because I'm happy that he was thinking of me. I'm going to go sit with that young man and listen to what he has to say about his freshman year in college and walk away from that space just feeling better because I had the opportunity to mentor somebody. So to those folks that are out there listening, please challenge yourself because you'll be surprised how mentorship will help improve your mental health. Because it's great to honestly have a young person in your life that's not your child sometimes, because our children sometimes don't want to listen to us. They see us all the time. They get to see us in our purest form, right? But these young people who get this mentorship, this is something so special. And I guarantee you, if they studied it, they would demonstrate to you that the adults that are mentors have a more positive outlook on life because they're using their skills and their abilities to help young people grow and really progress. And that's a positive thing overall.
Wow, Doc, before we go to break, you're going to appreciate this stat. 87% of our mentors report feeling more engaged when they go back to work, and they're more happy when they go home. And I think that speaks to those that are out there volunteering their time. They are receiving something in return when they spend their time with a young person just once a week for just 30 to 45 minutes is what we're asking. Even though school is out, we still need you. Teammates.org. Head over and learn more about how to be a part of the team. You are live with DeMo and Ash. Teammates Timeout. We'll be back in 5.
What's better than supporting your favorite radio station and eating delicious Nebraska-made products? Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska wants to highlight you, the listener, on the 93.7 The Ticket Wall of Fame at the store. Stop by the store at 48th and R in Lincoln and see their huge variety of small batch gourmet jerky. Or if you're not in the area and want to try some, go to smokinggunjerky.com and enter code EARLY for 10% off your purchase. It's the ultimate low-calorie, high-protein snack at Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top-quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for ready-mixed concrete in Lincoln. With 3 plants across the city, there are plenty of opportunities to start or grow your driving career. They offer great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they cover the cost of CDL training. Apply today and receive a $2,500 hiring bonus. Since 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today with ready-mixed concrete. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's nebcoinc.com.
Play ball! Ready for summer fun and ballpark vibes? Bring your pack to Haymarket Park for a thrilling season of Lincoln Salt Dogs baseball and unleash the fun. From May through August, the Lincoln Salt Dogs will be playing and the park will be popping with all the food, drinks, and fun you need for the perfect night out. Grab your friends, family, and coworkers and make plans now. Visit saltdogs.com to secure your tickets. Come on out to the park and unleash the fun.
Hey, it's your girl Jordan from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. It's official. Wedding season is here, and we know that every detail counts. From bridal party gifts to the finishing touches for the bride and groom, discover our exclusive selection of watches and fine jewelry. Did you know we even offer in-house engraving? Celebrate your special day with a personal touch and a timeless gift they'll cherish forever. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. Spring is here. Summer is fast approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln. Always honest answers.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Cobble Chevrolet GMC, and they're having the biggest hail sale they've ever had. A huge opportunity is at your front door right now. Some of these cars we're fixing, some we're not, and some it's totally up to you. New Sierra starting at $15,000 off list. New Canyons at $8,500 off list. New body styles on the Acadias, $3,000 off list. You need to hurry as there's going to be a lot of people heading to Louisville. Check us out at cobblecars.com. Stock numbers G1214492, G1877747, and G1965599.
At Farm Bureau Financial Services, we strive to provide you with the right coverages for all your insurance needs by taking the time to meet with you and review what coverages best fit your needs. So whether you're in the market for home, auto, farm, business, life, or a combination of any of these coverages, we can help with making sure you, your family, or your business have the right coverage based on your individual needs. If you would like to review your insurance needs, please contact Ben Spurt with Farm Bureau Financial Services at 402-217-9945 or through email at ben.spurt@fbfs.com.
Back to Teammates Timeout with DeMo and Ash on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, you are back. Teammates Timeout with DeMo and Ash. We are raising mental health awareness as we're wrapping up the month of May. Teammates Mentoring, our mission is to positively impact the world by inspiring students to reach their full potential through mentoring. And just the word inspire, hopefully people should feel the positivity from their word, the sense of hope, which Gallup research studies show that hope is the greatest indicator of academic success. And so about 85% of our students report feeling more hopeful after meeting with their mentor. I repeat, Doc, 85% of our students report feeling more hopeful after meeting with their mentor. When you hear that stat, when you hear that phrase, what comes to mind?
Well, first of all, what comes to mind is, why don't 85% of students feel more hopeful when they leave the classroom with a teacher, right? Right? So, I mean, and again, it's not the teacher's fault. It's just the challenges of the classroom. But when I have a person who has specifically said, I am going to come to your location and spend time with you and be a positive connection in your life, that's something extremely special, right? And what I can honestly tell you is that there are a lot of teachers out there that are those positive connections, but there's an evaluative component, right? I have to give you a grade. Yeah. This is a person who's coming to school just to be there with you. That's so important, right? If I were to just tell you, just thinking about coming here today to spend some time with you, DeMo, we need to spend more time together, but just coming here today and having the opportunity to spend some time with you, I was excited about it because I just know about our friendship. I know how long we've known each other. So I looked forward to it. And I look forward to it all day. Right. Yeah. And so just imagine every single week, this young person at that school goes to school and recognizes that someone's going to come into that school and spend time with them just for the sake of spending time with them, to come there to listen to them. That leads to hope. Right. So, I mean, it's amazing. And it's a great statistic. And I didn't know your other statistic about 87% of the people who demonstrate that, things are better at home, better at work, and different things like that. But yeah, that's an amazing statistic. I think 87% is a pretty high percentage.
And, that's a great way to get, companies like Huddle, like Nelnet, like Emeritus, like Assurity, when they think of employee satisfaction and just employee engagement.
Yes.
That's where you have the CEOs like David Graff and Susan with Assurity. They are allowing their employees to volunteer 1 hour of their time a week out of 40 hours.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah. And so, I would say when we can get more companies on board.
Absolutely.
I just know Dr. Scrudder here in Lincoln, we have about 1,300 students at least that have a mentor, which means we have 1,300 volunteers that are giving their time. And,
wow,
Ash, you just wrapped up your last meeting with your elementary student
last week.
Wow.
Talk about just that hope from you and from that student during that last meeting.
So we had our last meeting. It was about a week ago. And then last week, she invited me to come to her 5th grade promotion ceremony, which is like their graduation ceremony. So we go to middle school next year.
Wow.
But it was so cool. I was like, oh my gosh, you really want me to come? Like, I would love to come. Like, this is so great. This was the end of our 2nd year being matched together. And so, as I've talked about before, like when we first got paired, like it took months to like break down the walls. And I even talked to the building program coordinator, like, hey, like, is everything okay? Like, does she not like me? Like, what's going on here? And you just have to understand that's that child's way of figuring out, like, hey, can I trust you? Are you
Yes.
going to be consistent? Are you going to come back every week? And then once she figured out like, hey, like she's just another caring, trusting adult in my life that I can rely on, that I can trust, and who's going to come hang out with me once a week.
Yes.
That she had just like has absolutely flourished. So,
Wow.
to our points of statistics, her grades are higher since we've been meeting. She's involved in more activities. She's a student leader on different leadership groups. So, we were both kind of sad, last week, okay, it's summertime. I'll see you in the fall, but remember the fall, like we got to go to middle school and it's going to be all, and just kind of hype her up and like, hey, this is a great next chapter we're about to go in. I'm going to be there with you. I'm still going to come see you once a week. And then I constantly reiterate to her, like, as long as you want a mentor, I'm there. I will follow you all the way through your education. So we still have middle school, high school, and post-secondary to go.
Wow. That's amazing. And again, that level of commitment, that level of I'm going to be here for you and I'm going to be here for you regardless of the ups and downs.
Mm-hmm.
That is incredibly important. And going into middle school is challenging,
yes.
right? And so
I would be lying if I said I
trust
wasn't
me,
nervous.
I know, I think all of us, especially that have young girls, know that middle school is a very challenging time for young girls and boys, but specifically young girls when it comes to their mental health and some of the judgmental aspects that happen in middle school, some of the social dynamics, some of the things that are changing around them. They need a person to have in their space and in their corner during that time frame.
Right.
And so I think that's important that you're saying, hey, I'm here for you. And you're probably going to see some ups and downs of her, of course, through the middle school process, because it's a challenge.
Right.
It's a new paradigm for a lot of these young people.
Yeah. So in that last meeting, we were just hyping up. I was trying to hype up like, this is going to be so great. You're going to meet new people. You're going to make new friends. You're going to have new teachers and you're going to excel in your academics. Just try to constantly hammer home. And one thing we started toward the end of last year was setting goals. Like, okay, tell me your goals for this week. Do you have tests coming up? Tell me about your sports and activities. Like, what's your goal? What are you going to place in wrestling this weekend? And so just trying to continue kind of like what our routine is, like our meeting routine, just to make sure she has that consistency. And again, my job is to listen and not lecture.
Excellent.
But to DeMo's point, it is like one of the highlights of my week getting to go meet with her, because it's like, oh, great. Like it just brings you to it just puts you back into like a different perspective of life that they're going through that, you've already experienced. So it's kind of interesting to relive those days through their eyes.
Yeah.
Now, Chowders, you made a comment about, how come 85% of our students can't be more hopeful just when they go to school, just with educators, which I'm just curious, when you made that statement, what are students going through in school that's causing them to have, I guess, an imbalanced mental health?
So they're going through a lot, and there's a lot of things that are just uncontrollable that are happening to our young people in school. And first of all, you just have to think about what's happening when they're not in school, okay? Because they're only spending a certain amount of their time in school. So think about the level of engagement that I would have to bring to the classroom to mimic a 20-second TikTok that keeps changing. Okay. Like, what am I going to do? Am I going to speak in different voices in the classroom? Like, am I going to, put something on the screen in the class and then all of a sudden change, right? Like, think about the high level of interaction and the level at which our young people's brains are firing when they're looking at their phones and their devices versus when they're sitting in the classroom. This is why you're starting to see schools ban phones in the classroom, right? Because there's just so much, as we were talking in the break about some of the chemical challenges that people experience that might cause mental health issues. What I can tell you all is that our phones and all of these devices around us, they're dopamine machines, okay? They are making our brains fire at such a consistent basis and be rewarded for basically swiping up. And some of us get caught up in that too. If you're old like me and DeMo, you might be on LinkedIn going through reels, or maybe, you know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
But you keep watching other reels and they're giving you great information. So you're like, oh, that was a nice tidbit, right? So we just keep scrolling or whatever the case might be. So I want you to just think about sitting in a classroom and having to listen to somebody talk to you and present a lesson and everything else when you're used to so much engagement. And again, they're bringing some of that engagement into the classroom. And I applaud educators who continue to change their, the way that they teach and everything else. But just think about that. So they're dealing with all that. I'm sitting in class and somebody's, sending me messages on some platform and my phone's going off and it's in my pocket. And I'm like, gosh, I just really want to look at my phone, and you're not paying attention and you're dealing with all those different types of things. So, those are some of the things, like social dynamics. Like, this person said this about me on social media. This person sent this, that, or the other to another person. There's just so many different challenges that are going on. There's young people who have issues in the household, right? There's young people who have issues in their community. Like we talked about Maslow's hierarchy, right? There's some people who go to school and safety is an issue for them in their neighborhoods and where they come from. Food insecurity is an issue. So nutritionally, their brains aren't where they need to be, right? For them to pay attention, right?
Mm-hmm.
How can you pay attention if you don't have any energy, right? So just think about all those different dynamics, and then you're sitting there in the classroom trying to pay attention, right? So there's a lot going on. And again, I take my hat off to educators because they have not one of the situations that I just talked about, but maybe 30 sitting in the same classroom. And they're trying to figure out, how do I teach all these kids who have different ways of thinking and learning and everything else? So I think that there's a lot of things that are challenges that are facing. And that's why, honestly, just to take a young person out of that for a little while during the day, have them put their phone away and just sit there and listen to them. That's why it's so important.
So it's a nice positive distraction as a school-based mentoring program where mentors meet with the students at the school during the school day.
Yes. Safe.
It's the safety, which is one of our core values. And just giving students not a Facebook friend, but a face-to-face, positive, caring adult.
Absolutely.
That's what we're trying to do. Watchers, listeners, that is exactly what TeamMates mentoring. So as you're listening to Doc give everyone the state of the mental health in our youth, school is not only tough, but what our students are going through today is completely different than what we went through. Doc, I also know you're still involved in the community.
Yes.
And right now you are the board chairman of a mentoring organization called Visionary Youth.
Yes.
Talk about their role in the community.
So Visionary Youth was started in 2019 by Kwabena Mensah and myself. And, we really started out with just a big back to school haircut and backpack event. It might sound kind of interesting. Like, why back to school haircut and backpack event? Well, think about your first day back at school when you were younger, right? Like, you want it to look good. You want it to feel good so you could go to school and do good. And so they started doing haircuts back in 2012 with his barbershop, Oasis Barbershop. And it just kept growing every year that they would give kids free haircuts. And then we evolved it into giving people a backpack and then also some of the different supplies. So we do that on a yearly basis. Usually this last year, we did about 1,200 haircuts.
Whoa.
Okay. In about 5 hours. Okay.
Wow.
And so just huge numbers, major opportunity right here on 11th and M. We're not too far from there at the College of Hair Design that we would actually do that at right in front of their space. It's like more of a street festival now, but we do a lot of free haircuts and backpacks and give them all the stuff they need to go back to school, socks and underwear, because sometimes people forget that you need those essentials, right? Mm-hmm. So that's one of our events. Another one of our events, we have a free turkey giveaway where we give away turkeys and all the fixings for a wonderful Thanksgiving meal. This last year, we gave away over 1,000 turkeys, which is just amazing. But unfortunately, that also demonstrates a need in the community, right? 1,000 people showed up to get a free turkey and all the fixings and everything. And so that we do at St. Mark's Methodist down here, downtown. And then we also do a holiday event where we give away toys. And so those are three of the things we do. But the mentoring component that you're mentioning, we just started a program called the MIND program. It's called Mentoring in New Dimensions. So that's what MIND stands for. And it's a really cool concept. Basically, we took a 35-foot old party bus and turned it into a mobile barbershop. So it has 4 barber chairs in there. It looks just like a barbershop. And we incorporated the concept of barbering. We train the barbers to be mentors. And then we also have a mental health professional that comes in. And so I created a 10-week curriculum that includes kids who will come into this bus after school every day They get to meet with a barber. They'll give them a haircut, mentor them, talk with them about some specific, stuff that they're working on that week. Lots of positive psychology and fused into that. And then after that, 45 minutes that they spend with the barber, getting some mentoring and a haircut and everything, then a mental health professional comes in and does a group afterwards with the kids. So on this 35-foot bus that pulls up to Color Middle School, pulls up to Bryan High School, kids come on there, they get some barbering, they get some mentoring, and they get counseling all in one space. And what's so amazing about it, and this is where I think it really aligns with this concept of mentoring, is that with the haircut and the relationship they build with that barber over the 10-week period and the relationship they built with the mental health professional, amazing things are happening in those relationships. And it's not even something that they're thinking about. They're not thinking, oh, I'm in here getting a counseling session. They're like, I'm just going and seeing my cool barber, and then I get to see this other really cool guy who talks to me about how I feel, it's all good or whatever. So it's mental health that's taking place, and some of the really positive attributes of mental health that take place without the stigma of sitting in a room and just talking to one person face to face for like an hour. Right. So that's the MIND program. And so that's what Visionary Youth's all about.
So a lot of concepts that this community, just speaking here in Lincoln, Teammates Mentoring, Visionary Youth, Boys and Girls Club of Lancaster, trying to raise the awareness, helping the community to help itself.
Absolutely.
That's really what mentorship is about.
Yes.
Like the community helping itself, because our kids are the next generation of leaders. And we have a leader here, Dr. Lawrence Chatters, that is schooling us today on Teammates Timeout with DeMo and Ash. Ash, I hope you're taking notes, because we both got this psychology background. Man, we got one more segment of this. So you're live, but we got 5 more minutes. Stay tuned. We'll be back.
Empower a child today with the TeamMates mentoring program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the TeamMates mentoring program today.
Load up on meat and more this spring at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This week's special through May 27th is $1 off hamburger and hot dog buns, $1 off Plum Creek chicken wings, 15% off barbecue sauces, and 15% off burgers, hot dogs, and brats. The Mercado has locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, or 160th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100. Or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or Seward and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
Advanced Medical Imaging is the largest radiology group in Nebraska, located in Lincoln at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. At Advanced Medical Imaging, they utilize state-of-the-art technology and blend it together with their compassionate, skilled team to guide you through every step. Whether it's an MRI, CT scan, or X-ray, their precise diagnostics help your doctor deliver the best care plan for you. Choose clarity and comfort in your life by choosing Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard and online at amimaging.com.
Get on island time with Westgate Bank's Festival of Free. Stop by any Westgate Bank location in Lincoln and Omaha on Friday, May 30th to open your new completely free checking account. Get a free gift, enjoy free food and fun. While you're here, register to win a 22-inch Blackstone griddle. One prize will be given away at each location. That's Friday, May 30th at Westgate Bank. Visit westgate.bank for details. Westgate Bank, member FDIC. Need not be a customer to enter. 1 entry per person.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, 2-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
When opportunity knocks, you don't want to miss the call. Hamilton Business Technologies makes communication easy and efficient using customized technology, all while putting people first. Whether you're working from the office, at home, or on the go, Hamilton Business Technologies equips your business with the right tools for smooth, professional call handling. Hamilton Business Technologies. Real people, real technology solutions. Learn more at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Muchachos has been serving Lincoln delicious pork, brisket, and chicken tacos for several years now, as well as Hatch Mac, nachos, and more. Muchachos also brings you close to the taste buds of your favorite local college athletes with NIL deals like the B3 burrito for Bella Bacon of Nebraska softball and many more. See a variety of different NIL options at Muchachos at 11th and K or order online at yomuchacho.com. Open 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday.
Back to Teammates Timeout with DeMo and Ash on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to Teammates Timeout with DeMo and Ash on 93.7 The Ticket. We have had a great conversation tonight with Dr. Lawrence Chatters, just talking mental health and the importance of and how mentorship plays and that importance of good mental health. Dr. Chatters, one of the last questions that I want to ask you. What is one piece of advice that one of your mentors has given you that has made a profound impact on your life, and is one piece of advice that you continue to carry on that legacy?
Yeah, so that's a really great question. And, honestly, I think that one of the best pieces of advice that one of my mentors gave to me, it's Dr. Jamie Williams. And he is just he's a Renaissance man, honestly. He knows a little bit about everything. And he always encouraged me to be myself in any space that I'm in. And that's one of the things that's really carried me in a very positive way through life, is that regardless of where I am, if I'm in a rigid space, wherever I happen to be, I'm just myself. And I'm a kind person. I'm a person who loves to interact with other people and be positive. And I've never allowed any space that I've stepped into, regardless of how challenging it is, change that about me. And it's hard sometimes to just be who you are wherever you are. Because the world pulls us to be different types of people and to change who we are. But I just believe that just maintaining that sense of humility, that sense of happiness and positivity, that's just always who I am. And so that was something that, and just being a creative and somebody who has a number of different skills that I bring to different spaces. When I worked in the athletic department, I would DJ in the training table for the student athletes sometimes, when I was a vice president for student affairs, I would DJ for my students, and the faculty at the university that I was at. I just try to be who I am wherever I am. And so that was some great advice that he gave me that I stick to.
And great advice for our current mentors that are listening and watching, to encourage students to be themselves. I know we're out of school, but just something to think about, to get your kid excited in the fall. And as I mentioned, we never stop recruitment. We are still looking for more volunteers to go to teammates.org. We can train you over the summer and get you ready and set to be matched up with a young person, particularly 3rd through 5th grade. That is an age gap that I would say there is a need. And when you think of reading literacy, when you think of math literacy, all of those scores are down on top of anxiety and emotional intelligence. And so we still got a lot of work to do. And I appreciate you for just bringing light to mental health, because as a strengths-based organization, we focus on the strengths of our students, and that leads to hope, that leads to engagement, that leads to well-being. And well-being is what leads to well-doing. And so if you were to do Husker football, Chatters,
yes,
what position would you play on the team?
Oh my goodness, that is a great question. What position would I play? I would say, I would probably be a running back.
Really?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And then the reason I'd be a running back, and trust me, I'm like 170 right now and 6 foot, so definitely not in that shape right now. But the reason I would do that is because I love finding a way. And I think that running backs find a way, whether it's, breaking someone's ankles or just, you just grabbing the football and just making a way. Running backs always find a way. And so I just have always had respect for people who can take such a beating and just keep getting right back up and doing it again. And that's just the way that I live my life, is like, I'm going to find a way, I'm going to get through, I'm going to accomplish my goal, and I'm going to score that touchdown. So I'd probably be a running back.
So would you break my ankles?
Absolutely, man. Come on.
Running back. I think that is a first, Ash.
That is a first. And it's just a very well thought out answer.
Oh, man. Thank you for the opportunity to be here, you all. And folks, get out there and become a teammate. Become a mentor. It's going to make you better. It's going to help make someone else better. And it's just going to make the world a better place. So get out there and volunteer to be a teammate mentor.
Mic drop. He said it, folks. Go to teammates.org today to learn more information about how you can become a mentor or to donate. This is Teammates Timeout with DeMo and Ash on 93.7 The Ticket.
Empower a child today with the TeamMates mentoring program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the TeamMates mentoring program today.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100. Or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or Seward and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
Here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Load up on meat and more this spring at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This week's special through May